By viewing God not as a bearded ruler in the sky, but as the living substrate, the universe, the quantum energy field, the natural balance of the planet, we begin to see that the story of Eden is actually a prehistoric warning label. It is the story of how humanity left a life of absolute presence and abundance, and voluntarily walked into a self-made prison of consolidation, greed, and wage slavery. Before time was a cage, there was only the now. For hundreds of thousands of years, humanity lived inside the rhythm of the substrate. We did not own the earth, we belonged to it. When the hunter grew hungry, he took what he needed from the forest, ate his fill, and left the rest to the soil. He did not build a warehouse. He did not fence off the river. He did not hoard the wild beasts, because to hoard them was to express a lack of faith in the substrate to provide for him again when the sun rose. Wealth was not a number stored in a vault. Wealth was the absolute freedom to exist entirely in the present moment. Then came the day that broke the world. The day tomorrow was invented. In the ancient mythology of the Levant, this fractures into the memory of a man, a woman, and a tree. We have been taught for millennia that the crime in the garden was disobedience, a foolish act of hunger and temptation. But this is a deliberate misdirection by the structures that rule us. If the man had taken the fruit simply because he was hungry in that immediate moment, the universe would have remained in perfect equilibrium. The substrate does not punish hunger. The crime was not hunger. The crime was anticipation. The man looked at the tree and did not see a meal for today. He saw a resource to be controlled for next week. He looked at the fruit and realized that if he stripped the branch bare and locked the seeds away, he would never have to trust the universe again. He could secure his own survival. He could separate himself from the natural order. The serpent's promise was precise. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it all the days of your life. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food. To the ancient mind, to know good and evil did not mean to understand morality. It meant to seize the power over life and death, to decide which plants would grow, which animals would be slaughtered, and who would be allowed to eat. By pulling the fruit down to consolidate it, humanity declared war on the immediacy of the present. We stepped out of the flow of the universe and into the anxiety of the future. The response from the substrate was instant, operating like a law of physics. The moment you decide to secure tomorrow by your own hand, you lose the peace of today. The myth records the sentence clearly: by the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground. This was not a curse handed down by an angry dictator. It was the inevitable reaction of the field. The moment we fenced off the wild land to create the first farm, we became the first prisoners. The soil required constant, unrelenting toil to be protected from nature trying to reclaim it. The stored grain required walls to protect it from other hungry humans. The walls required guards. The guards required a king. Within a generation, the hunter-gatherer who walked freely through the bush became the peasant tied to a plot of dirt, laboring under the sword of a landlord. 10,000 years later, the software has not changed. The modern world is just Eden's tragedy expanded to a global scale. The billionaire hoarding digital numbers in a computer screen is driven by the exact same ancient, corrupted impulse as the first man who stripped the tree bare. The terrifying, insatiable desire to consolidate enough wealth to protect themselves from an uncertain tomorrow. They buy yachts and mansions, yet they remain spiritually starved, locked out of the garden, unable to find peace even if they are sitting in paradise. Meanwhile, the system they maintain ensures that everyone else remains a wage slave, forced to buy back the very things the planet once gave away for free: water, shelter, and food.